Namaste. Hello everybody. Mahkah Das Elumen here, founder and creator of Elumen Yoga. And the intention behind this video is to create a more specific, shorter video on what is exactly Elumen Yoga. You could find a video I've made already entitled, What is Elumen Yoga? And it's a very general description on what Elumen Yoga is. I want to go into a little more detail to spark a little more interest in exactly what it is that I have created here and why should you give your time and interest to want to practice it. So Elumen Yoga is an integrated system of practicing Hatha Yoga that combines key elements from the Ashtanga and the Iyengar Yoga systems. And these two systems, as I've stated in other videos, are one of the two main systems where all yoga comes from. All the Hatha Yoga practice that we see in studios that you practice every day with the poses and the pranayama and the meditation, it all comes from Iyengar Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. So what I've done is I've taken the most juicy, potent, popular, fun, transformational healing elements of each practice into a single practice form. So from Ashtanga Yoga, I focus on the repetition of a specifically designed sequence being practiced over and over and over again. So in Elumen Yoga, like Ashtanga Yoga, there's 3 different main series: primary series, intermediate series, advanced series. And those series are set sequences, and they are to be practiced in that order. So first you learn and master the primary series, then the intermediate, then the advanced. And it's like Ashtanga Yoga. If you ever practice Ashtanga Yoga, there's set sequences that you practice regularly over and over every day besides the new and the full moon. And by practicing a sequence over and over again, the benefits of that is not only are you getting into the habit of practicing yoga often and daily, so you start to reap the benefits of the practice. You see your body change and heal and transform and get more flexible and get more strong. And it also has there's something really special about practicing a sequence repeatedly, same poses in the same order, so you can actually really track and see the progress of not just the physical body, but your mind, your emotions, and your connection to God. So that's one element, is repeating a specifically designed sequence over a period of time. Another element from Ashtanga Yoga I focus on is vinyasa, so the movement of the body with the breath. You see this in Ashtanga Yoga in any type of vinyasa labeled class at your yoga studio. It's from like a sun salutation, linking poses together with the breath. Inhale, arms up, exhale, fold, inhale, step back, inhale, high lunge, exhale, chaturanga. That linking together of poses with the movement and the flow of the breath, vinyasa, the outer vinyasa. So that's one main element. Also the element of the breath. So practicing Ujjayi pranayama, Ujjayi meaning victoriously uprising, fierce breath, creating heat, internal heat in the body, and this internal heat purifies the body. It's what creates a lot of the healing, moves stagnant energy within the body and opens up the nadis, all the nadis in the body, all the different energy centers like the chakras, really purifies the body as heat does, it transforms, it creates alchemy. So practicing Ujjayi pranayama, another element. And those are the 2 main elements. There's also elements of drishti, which is the gaze. What are your eyes doing? Can your eyes be soft, moving towards the back of the skull, with the skin around the eyes relaxed, and gazing at a steady single point while in each asana, while moving through each asana, each yoga pose, with the breath, with the vinyasa. So another element is drishti, the gaze. Another element is bandha. So you have 3 bandhas in the body. Bandhas mean locks, internal locks of energy. You have mula bandha, which is at the pelvic floor between the anus and the perineum. It's a lifting up of the pelvic floor. Mula bandha. Uddiyana bandha, right around the navel. It's the scooping in and upward energy, gentle hollowing of the navel region, in and up. Subtle, all this is subtle, Uddiyana bandha. And then Jaradhara bandha at the throat. So the working and the applying and the learning of these magical bandhas is another element. in Elumen Yoga. And then we have mudra, so the internal mudra. There's the hand mudras that we do with our fingers and our hands. This one's, in here I focus more on the internal mudra, so the balancing of the prana and the apana, the inhalation and the exhalation, where you're riding the breath upwards and then maintaining all the juiciness qualities, all the potent qualities of the breath as it rises up from the base of the spine to the throat to the crown of the head. And then exhale, riding the breath from the crown of the head, the throat, down back to the pelvic floor, and maintaining and mysteriously riding the breath and creating this mudra, this joining together, this yoking, this yoga of the breath. So that's another element, is mudra. And the other element, that's good. There's other elements, but those are the main elements of where I get the Ashtanga yoga side of the table into the Elumen Yoga practice. So you have the repetition of the specifically designed sequence, vinyasa, breath, ujjayi pranayama, bandha, dristi, mudra. From Iyengar Yoga, I focus on the elements of postural alignment, so deep pose, inner alignment, outer alignment, mechanical pose alignment. How do you do the pose? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What do my arms do? What do my legs do? What is my skin doing? How do I properly practice the pose? One other element is the use of props. How do I properly practice the pose according to me, in my condition, my situation, my body, using props to, in the practice, in the vinyasa practice, how to apply props to help us reap the full benefits of each pose. So we have props. And then another element is holding poses for a specific amount of time to reap the full benefits of each pose. So each pose has a specific benefit, as listed in Light on Yoga, book created by BKS Iyengar in the 60s. He describes all the effects of each asana. Each yoga pose does something different, positive, to the body, mind, and spirit. Really looked at as a holistic healing practice, same in Ashtanga. BKS Iyengar, though, specifically found and wrote down in his book, if you go in the back of Light on Yoga, in the back of his book, Iyengar Yoga, Path to Holistic Health, you'll see all the different ailments, conditions, sicknesses, diseases, where he then lists different poses to do to help heal and transform one from sickness, disease, weakness, and suffering. So holding poses for a specific amount of time to reap the benefits of the pose, and this leads to my last element here from Iyengar Yoga to the Elumen Yoga practice, is I've gone through the book Light on Yoga and Iyengar Yoga Path to Holistic Health and wrote down every single ailment, and then wrote down every single pose he prescribes for each ailment, and then went through and found what are the top 60 most common prescribed poses that he recommends to help treat the most ailments, diseases, sicknesses, and so on. And it's those poses, from my calculations, the top 60 poses, that create the three, there's 6 Elumen Yoga sequences, but the 3 main primary, intermediate, advanced series, and then the 3 shorter series in Elumen Yoga. It is those poses that Iyengar has prescribed the most of that create all the series. So those series are all created from, according to Mr. Iyengar, the most powerfully healing transformational poses. And personally, I have been practicing the Elumen Yoga series now. They've been completed for about 6 months or so, and I've been practicing them weekly. And my body has never felt, I've never been in a state of practicing, in my 12 years of practicing Hatha Yoga, such a fast progression in my flexibility, strength, endurance. So the physical practice, my body is opening really quickly. Parts of my body that have been opening slowly are starting to finally open. Poses are happening more effortlessly. And I'm also noticing that my breath is becoming more expansive, and that my clarity that I am receiving after my practice in my normal day-to-day life normal day-to-day life, is the clarity is even more than it ever has been on a heightened level. I feel more connected to God's source within me and all things more than I ever have before. So this practice is really something special here that I have created. And I just wanted to give you a more specific, detailed description of what Elumen Yoga is. It's practicing yoga the way you know it. It's all poses you're familiar. They're basic poses in the series, but they're practiced with deep postural alignment with all these elements from Ashtanga and Iyengar Yoga into the single practice. Ashtanga and Iyengar Yoga complement each other so greatly. They are two main practices of yoga, traditional practices of Hatha Yoga that are unbelievable practices on their own. And because they complement each other so well, combining them together specifically with these key elements, it's amazing, guys. Like, it's really great. It's an honor to offer this to you and to the world. You can find me in Portland, Oregon at Burning Spirits Yoga, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 12 to 1:30 p.m. You can find me at Yoga Pearl, Tuesdays, 3 to 4:15 p.m. or Fridays, 6 to 7:15 p.m. I'm also available for private, one-on-one personal privates or small group privates here in Portland, or over the internet via FaceTime, Zoom, or Skype long distance. I'm looking for more public yoga classes to teach Elumen Yoga and to teach other forms of yoga as well. I'm looking for a partner to create or open a space, a yoga studio space of my own. Lots going on. If you're interested in any of that, email me, mahkahdas@gmail.com, mahkahdas@gmail.com. Find me on Facebook, Elumen Yoga, Instagram, Elumen Yoga, where you can see my daily asana reports with Professor Alignment, where you get little free daily pose alignment instructions and where I state the benefits of each pose. That's on Instagram. And on YouTube here, you can follow me, Elumen Yoga, for updates and videos. Thank you so much for your time. Please ask me as many questions as you desire, and I look forward to seeing you on the mat. Much love, light. Namaste.